Sharks are like the king of the ocean. Sure, a whale might seem more dangerous and strong, but they can only be counted as elephants. I know a lot of you love to be in the ocean, whether it be for scuba diving, cruising, or fishing, but no one wants to be near a shark. These water beasts can sneak their way towards you swimming and your lunch the next minute. These blunt torpedo-shaped fishes are not less than a beast, and if their teeth, which look like a metal grinder, do not intimidate you, then I have no idea what will. These beasts can go up to 1,000 pounds and they can go up to about 12 foot long. But then, where's the thrill if there's not much danger for that adrenaline rush, right? Well, gladly you don't have to get into the ocean and swim near a shark to get an idea of being near them, because we have some of the most terrifying great white shark encounters that'll get you hydrophobic at least for a month. Let's begin. Pure fear. In this video, we can see a group of fishermen friends just having fun, celebrating their big marlin catch in the ocean, but soon the fun moment turned into terror when the friend on the boat noticed a shark swimming seconds away from them. Initially, they thought he was joking, but when the friend insisted, they made it back the boat. Had they thought it was a joke and laughed at it, well, watch this. YouTuber versus shark. Back in 2016, there was a YouTuber who uploaded a video that is titled "Man Fights a Shark." The video begins with a man getting his GoPro ready just before diving straight into the water, but he doesn't know that there's a shark right in front of him. As soon as he sees the shark, we can hear a muffled scream. There's no doubt that he's in terror. He wants to get out of there as soon as possible. He's struggling to swim to safety, and the shark can be seen dangerously close. Well, that was a close call. Watch this. Johan and the spear divers. Back in 2015, when a group of spear divers went spearfishing in Arniston, Cape Town, South Africa, had a GoPro on their head and a spear gun. They could look around to hunt, but they did not know that they were the ones being hunted. A great white shark was centimeters away from them, orbiting around. Johan managed to ward off the beast and alert the people on the boat. They did survive the attack, even recalling how Johan was shouting "white" hysterically. That was a great escape. Watch this. Expedition. Joe Petrovic was just having a normal day at the sea hunting. He went about 300 meters away from the boat chasing pink snappers, but it wasn't only Joe trying to hunt the pink snappers. He came across great white sharks. No matter how experienced you are, the moment you see a shark, your heart pumps like a bullet train. The shark was looking at the new creature and plotting an attack while Joe was preparing for a fight. He had the spear gun, and when the shark lunged towards him, he fought back bravely with the spear gun. The battle was very strategic and calculated, but the shark left soon after. Check this out. Surprise! It seems like Guadalupe, Mexico is where all the sharks stay. A group of divers went down there to get a close look at the sharks, in cages of course, but they were greeted by a shark. One of the sharks decided to say hi and stared at the petrified crew. There was only a cage between them, and it's almost as if the shark is cursing at the iron bars. God knows what would have happened if there was no cage. Watch this. I love sharks. Fascinated by the beauty, Scholar Thomas, an independent filmmaker, has a passion for filming sharks. In Guadalupe, Mexico, when Thomas was safe in a cage underwater with his film crew, one of the members got too curious and poked his head out the cage, and that's when a shark came at him. He quickly ducked away. Thomas claims that the shark only wanted to say hi, but no one has ever said hi to food, have they? Gladly, the other crew managed to capture it. Watch this. Fishing a shark. A kayaker fishing in Key West, Florida catches a big fish. He thinks this might be his lucky day. As he pulls the gray snapper on the line, he realizes it's a shark. He knows he can't catch it, but tries to reel him in to get a better shot. The shark is struggling to escape, but then has had enough of it, and so he yanks the kayak and then returns for a payback. Attacking the kayak to attack the kayaker, he just cuts the line and paddles away. There's nothing much he can do. Watch this. Honeymoon adventure? Roger Gray and his wife thought it was a good idea to get inside a cage and watch a shark up close as a funny honeymoon adventure. A great white shark ignored the bait and the tourists in the cage. The white shark begins trashing the cage violently. The shark managed to get his mouth through the gaps in the cage, inches away from the divers. After a while, the sharks gave up. The violent sharks and the greenish murky water and the divers below in the water in the cage worried great white shark tourism. They screamed at the divers as they were out of view, but gladly no one was hurt. I'm sure they'll never forget this honeymoon ever. This is my turf. At Tofo, Mozambique, a group of divers had been going on an adventure under the deep blue ocean. They were strapped in with a GoPro and they were having the time of their life when one of the divers noticed a great white shark circling around them. They watched as the shark calmly swam around them, getting a little closer every time. The divers were caught and they had no idea what to do, so they observed the sharks observing them. Seems like the shark wasn't interested in food, they were just curious about who they were. Check this out. Murky waters. Free diving is a great sport, and these free divers were looking for abalones in the deep waters. They were filming their adventures as they went to search, but vision there is blurry as we can see through the camera, and when they realized there is danger lurking nearby, gladly it was a peace-loving shark and it just bumped its head and left. But still, it's chilling to see a predator patting you on the head. Watch this. The predator. Sharks love to sneak on their prey and eat them up with the element of surprise. They don't like the surface too much, but in this picture you can see a shark pretending to be a dolphin while attacking its prey. A cinematographer wanted to feed her curiosity by going to Guadalupe, Mexico. A dedicated woman who decided to stay 6 hours in the cage for 3 days looking for a shark who would pose for the camera, and sure enough, a 15-foot long great white shark left out of the water, winking at the camera. And boy, she was scared. Watch this. Eat me! This was more of an experiment where a man called Brandon went between the sharks and plexiglass, of course, and stood there testing if the sharks are really as friendly with humans as they say. They want to test if sharks can sense vulnerability, and before you know it, he was surrounded by a lot of great white sharks. Even though he was safe, I don't think she could trust the plexiglass for his life. The sharks were banging their heads trying to get a bite. Watch this. Fins. In this clip, a diver can be seen spearfishing in green murky waters. We can see through the camera that he cannot see things clearly, and suddenly something pulls him from the behind and his fin is gone. To his horror, he notices a great white shark chewing the fin. The diver is in panic, it's fight or flight, and so he dives deeper to get his spear gun and gets into position. The shark can be seen attacking him for the second time, but the diver manages to fend it off. The third time, he manages to stab him with a spear gun, saving himself and sending the shark back into the murky water. Watch this. Do you think you can manage to pull off what these people did? Do you have some crazy shark encounters you want us to know about? Looking at these men survive an inch away gives me chills, and if it gives you the chills too, let me know in the comment section below. Put about them in the comments below, and well, that was it for today. Have a good day.